yet.
So what programs are currently out there to assist with the home buying process?
So every county has a grant. Now, what it takes to get that grant, who you gotta talk to, that's usually the hard part. I work mostly in Camden County. I know Camden County's grant is a little hard to get. Burlington County has a grant. I think they're giving up to like $30,000.
Oh wow.
New Jersey State has a grant. They're giving out $10,000, but if you're a first generation home buyer, you get an extra $7,000.
I seen something that said 22,000.
So in North Jersey, they get $15,000 as a base plus the extra $7,000.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why it's up to 22.
Okay.
So it's free money out there. Listen, I got buyers who go to closing with almost nothing.
Really?
My last closing, he had to bring $35 to closing.
Nice. And it was the first time.
It was the first time buyer. We got him the grant. It was in Philly though. He got like $18,000 in grant money. I think $5,000 from the seller. So yeah. So you wanna get a house, you don't gotta have a lot of money saved. Cause I'm gonna finesse it for you. I'm gonna get you some free money.
I love your name on social media because your name fits your personality. Like Deja's pictures look so professional. She's so pretty, but Deja is that home girl. Like she gonna come
very
home.
down to earth. Like
Right. Oh, we forgot. So Deja, drum roll. Deja, what is your sign?
yes.
No, that's what your sign is.
I'm an Aries.
The
Are
guy.
you
Yep. The little fire sign.
When is your birthday?
March 24th.
Oh, that's my son's birthday.
March 27th.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Why my mom is?
No, that her and Jaden have the same birthday.
Why?
So a lot's gonna start clicking and making sense. But I tell you why.
Yo, like, I feel like, I could never date an Aries. Like, Aries be like, they be too intense for me. But like, as a
Aries be
friend,
like this. You ask them a question, you be like, would you ever? They be like, no.
I don't
That's
have
it.
time to go around
That's
these
it.
scenarios
That's
and
it.
hypothetical situations.
No.
I wouldn't. Next time.
And you should believe them when they
but
say
like
it.
Aries, like the men, like, I don't know, like, but Aries in general, like not outside of a relationship, Aries is riders. Like I always tell people, like if you want a rider, if you want somebody that's down for the cause, get you an Aries friend. All they gonna ask you is what time we gotta be there.
And who all gonna be there?
Who all gonna be there and what I need to dress like.
Right.
What's the dress code? That's all they ask and how much is it to get in?
No.
That's it.
Biggest question is who all gonna be there?
Right. Who all gonna be there?
Not dealing with it.
Riders, straight riders. So alright. So it does make sense that we that you were Aries. Aries got that. Aries are very ambitious and very like.
I'm too ambitious. I'm tired.
Really.
I'm too ambitious. I'm doing some ambitious.
It's always good to take a break. Don't forget to take them breaks. So all of that money that's out there and available for people. You know the one of the things that I realized with a lot of the programs that they offer in the community, because even I had got a tax credit. Like those programs, if you don't know somebody who knows that they don't.
But I literally
advertise
tried to
that
tell
stuff.
somebody, like when I went out to have my surgery, I literally sat online and just looked up grants that were available to me for everything. Like I literally just looked up like grants for utilities, it's free money out there if you're willing to find these programs and do the paperwork. So what's the lowest credit score you can work with?
620.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that, y'all?
And there's lenders out here who will be like, oh, I can get you a 580. We're not playing with 580s. 580s will get you an even higher interest rate than what's out here right now. Interest rates are ridiculous. I don't want y'all getting hit with higher interest rates and higher costs and higher fees because you're a higher risk because you're a 580. So
right.
I tell people 620, I can get you some free money and I can get you into a house.
Say to people that's say that home ownership is just like, it's not possible. Like they don't, someone like me. So say someone like me, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in that book, he kind of made it seem like home ownership is it shouldn't be the American dream unless you buy a home and you have income that is solely, if I remember correctly, solely supporting that. Like for everything that you buy, you should have something that's paying for that. Like you shouldn't just be working off of one job, trying to pay for a mortgage, trying to get cars, trying to do, and this one job is
solely supporting this whole
all of that.
Yeah.
But also reading that book, and then also me being single, no children. Like I let my life insurance lapse. I'm being transparent. I let my life insurance lapse, and I went to my parents, and I was just like, oh my God, my life insurance lapsed. You know, hard times. It was COVID. Things was getting backed up. And so I asked them, I was like, you should get life insurance on me. Like, and it was like, no, we're fine. I was just like, why? What if something happens to me and I die tomorrow? They was like, we'll pay for it. It's not going to cost that much money.
Wow.
And I'm like, they're like, you don't have any children. You're not married. There's no one.
We don't have no assets that we have to pay off.
Right.
None of those things that we have to be worried about if you had those responsibilities.
Right.
We just got to bury you. After that, we can put all your shit in the box, put it in the garage, and I mean, it is what it is.
Basically, and I never looked at it like that because people always tell me like, why? And so then my stepmom started telling me about other ways to save money besides the life insurance. So for someone like me who doesn't have any children, not married, and I just love my apartment so much, what would you tell someone who says home ownership is just too much for me? Like, I'm going to have to worry about the maintenance. I'm going to have to worry about, someone cutting my grass. I don't have no kids to leave it to.
Yeah, because that is a huge...
It is kind of good.
Landscaping is such a huge part of home ownership.
And depending on where you live, it's mandated
that you keep.
And they will come out and measure your grass.
Right. And God forbid you get a neighbor from hell.
Right. That's another thing. If I buy a house, it has to be somewhere like I feel like in Vineland in the boondocks.
My mom just had this conversation with me.
So what would you say?
Said rent. Like home ownership is not for everybody. Like I'm not the loan officer or mortgage broker or real estate agent or whatever other title I got. I'm not one of them that's like, oh, you have to buy a house. You have to buy. Do what makes you happy. Right. Because it's like you said, you like your apartment.
I love my apartment. God knows I do. But also, like, we're living in a time where everybody just speaks about generational wealth and what are you doing to build this generational wealth? And I always tell my cousin, like, I don't have no kids. So
if you don't got no kids, it's like, okay.
Right. But
like, gonna be the rich auntie.
That's my other Instagram.
Rich auntie?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the rich auntie.
So that's rare that you hear a mortgage broker or a real estate say that, because everybody wants to give you a list of, because people always like to say, well, you just paying rent to somebody and they can kick you out anytime. Well, you stop paying your mortgage, it's a longer process.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a longer process.
But
the inevitable is still inevitable. And once you get behind, like, how you really gonna catch it?
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I tell people I promote home ownership, but I don't push it.
Right.
Like I'm not shoving it down somebody's throat. Like you gotta buy a house.
You're not looking, because this is a no judgment zone. You are not looking at us less because we don't own a home.
No, because it may not be what you want.
I literally know a guy that's like damn near a millionaire, and he lives in the Bella. Like he loves living in
the convenience.
That's my apartment.
The convenience
of my apartment.
I don't think that people get that though. Like I know people who own homes and they have huge homes. First of all, it'd be too much fucking house for one. And I don't think that people be realizing like how much it takes to clean. And and the maintenance, the upkeep of the house. Yeah. It's not as simple as not saying that it's better to rent or it's better to buy, but I'm just saying you got to think about those big expenses when they come. Like if your roof go, or if the fucking plumbing go,
right.
or if you wake up tomorrow and your fucking refrigerator go the fuck out. Like, what you gonna do?
And how right? So how does that work for someone? Is that wrong to say? But I'm really curious because that's kind of something that would give me the anxiety, but I would still do it anyway because I'm a Pisces.
Like, I know some.
But coming to closing with only $35 and I don't have no savings, like that would be something that would like give me anxiety because I'm about to take on this big responsibility and I literally have no savings. But they gave me money to buy it and now we got a house, y'all, and we got a house.
Right.
I guess you would just try to figure it out. I guess you would just the
way you figure out rent.
Figure it out right now in the rent. You figure out your mortgage. You're gonna figure that mortgage out.
Right.
But like I know somebody who had a house and they literally the oven was broke. They didn't have a fucking oven. The oven was broke and they couldn't afford to buy a fucking stove. And I was just like y'all don't bake over, y'all don't put nothing in the oven over here?
Right.
And they was like, no.
I know somebody that happened to too, and they had to buy one of them little days until they could.
And that's what I said, and I was thinking,
toaster oven.
Even something as small as that, which a stove is $600 to $800. Then you gotta pay for installation. So we talking about like a little bit over $1,000. Like, who got $1,000 on hand on top of whatever your mortgage is? When you
and
get
I
those type of
think that's
expenses.
why when Rich Dad Poor Dad, there's a part of it where he talks about why you have to have that income that supplements every little, like he says if he buys a new car then he started a new business or he started some type of different revenue that straight pays that car off. Like there should be, that's the American dream basically is being in debt.
Basically. And I probably shouldn't agree with that because that's literally my job to put people in debt. But
if they do it the smart way, then they
it's a
won't.
smart way to do it.
Right, they won't do it, and that's what you're here for, to explain to people how they can do it.
Finesse the government.
Right, right, because there's money out there. There's ways that you can do things, and like how you have more than one title. Like get a hustle, like notary. We know Khalida does notary, like, and people would think like, oh no, that's just something like that's something small to do. You know how many
I make
people,
a lot of money being I make a lot of money being a signing agent.
Right, and also, like, doing notary, like, especially if it's somebody that you know, like, it's times I had to call Khalida and all legit, all legally done.
Right. But because of the convenience, because you know somebody. And you know somebody. But you know what's crazy about that is because I do notary for everybody, and the one time I needed a notary, I couldn't find nobody to notarize my stuff. And I end up having to Google, like, where can I go to get something notarized? And I end up having to pay UPS.
Who notarizes the notary stuff?
Right, who notarizes the notary stuff? Right. Like you got
so our sippers, if y'all sippers didn't know, Khalida said the two things that you are. You're a loan.
I'm a notary signing agent, and I'm just a regular notary as well.
Right. So if it's ever 12 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden you at the bar and you done met, say you meet P Diddy and y'all do your contract, and you I don't know, and you hit up Khalida because Khalida is getting out of her bed. If that money is right,
I definitely am. When the money called, when I get them alerts to my phone, I got one earlier. They wasn't trying to pay me right, so I didn't go. But when I get them alerts and them alerts is right, y'all, Michelle, no, we was at the bar the one day. We was happy hour. We had happy hour. Ooh, we had Bob Marley's. My phone went off. I was like, yeah, Michelle. I gotta. That's it.
Right.
That's it for today. No more drinks for today. I'm gonna eat my wings and I'm out of here.
Gotta go get that money.
What should clients have ready and set for you when starting a home buying process?
Please, God, please.
Break it down.
I need 2 months of bank statements. I need a month of pay stubs or whatever income you have. You can't buy a house if you're on Social Security, because a lot of people don't know that. Photo ID, tax returns. Please don't come to me if you have not filed your taxes. I'm many things, but I'm not a tax accountant. I will do your taxes, but it probably won't be right.
If you won't give me $1 million, you can do mine.
It probably won't be right, but I'll do them for you. Tax returns, W-2s. Just have all your paperwork in order. And the biggest thing is just be honest with me.
I was about to say that.
Be honest with me.
Say that.
Because she gonna find out.
I am. And I would rather find out before you're under contract for a house 2 weeks before closing.
And then they call you, because I done seen plenty of deals fall through because something then came back at the last minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's how my dad got the first place that I ever lived, because I wanted to live there, and then somebody brought it underneath us, but when they went to closing, like the day they went to closing, some had fell through.
Because they probably didn't tell their loan officer.
Right. And honesty was right coming off the top of my tongue, because when I met you at that event and you did a whole spill and you talked about the person who wasn't honest about their taxes, and it was like,
please, I beg, please, just tell me everything. Like, I'm not the government, I am not the IRS.
She trying to help you.
I think some people are just, especially in our community, especially when we're dealing with each other, and we get a lot of pride in us, and a lot of like being ashamed, and like a lot of, we think we're being judged, like how you said, what's the lowest credit score?
620.
She can help you with a 620 credit score, but you know that there are some people who literally will watch this program, literally watch it on YouTube, and know you. Will be able to have access to you from Instagram and know that they have like a 650, and they will not reach out because they're ashamed of that something
I get
credit
a lot
score.
Of people and they're like, my credit score is low. And I'm like, what is it? 680. I'm like, girl, you know what I could do with you with a 680? Come on.
Like, we're not saying don't improve your credit, but don't.
But don't let that be a hindrance and stop you from thinking that you can't obtain.
And communicate with the people who might be able to help you.
And even the people with the 580s and under 620s still come to me. I'll help you get that together too.
And like, it can be done. You don't have to be ashamed of your credit score. Like, if you really are serious about buying a home, hit up Deja. She will sit down. She will help you, and you're so laid back.
Well, the thing is, I feel like a lot of back on that, financial literacy is not really a big thing in our community. A lot of people don't know about investing. They don't know how to save. They don't know how to improve their. They don't even know how credit works. So like and we don't talk about it. We don't talk about money. We don't talk about what I'm saying, those things
because. And this is where I'm reprogramming my brain over the past couple months now. Like, I reprogrammed my brain in so many different ways. With other aspects, I don't sniff coke, y'all. My nose just randomly starts.
Oh my God, she says this every.
Cause I feel like I have to. Like, I know.
Coke disclaimer. Oh my God.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj did a coke disclaimer. And then, anyway,
that's not. We won't get.
But.
I don't snort coke.
I don't. One thing that we're talking about right now is credit, so I'll just go on to our next question, because when I met Deja at that event that I went to, one thing that you talked about, and it's so much, because that just blew my mind, and then I went home and told my parents about it, and it was like, my stepmom was like, we know, but we didn't tell y'all, but explain why and how parents should start establishing their kids' credit now.
Full disclaimer before I say this: don't put your kids on a credit card that you have not paid.
Right. Don't fuck their credit.
Right.
Like, if you
their credit up over it.
If you've been paying your credit card bill for 10 years on time,
that's the one that you want to add them to. Don't add them to one that you missed a couple payments, because that will reflect. So what we're talking about is authorized users. So you can add your child, doesn't matter how old they are, as the authorized user on your credit card. And once they turn 18, they'll have established credit. 18 years of established credit.
Now, what if they're adults and you do that? It doesn't count?
It does count. Because when I was trying to buy my house, I was 20, I think. Something around there. And my mom added me to one of her credit cards. And that credit card was old as me. So I had like 30 years of credit history.
Wow. And that made a huge difference.
Yeah, my score jumped up like 20 points.
Wow.
So add your kids to your credit card.
So even if there's like no age limit. So my niece is like 6 years old.
You can do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just be building.
Soon as they get social added.
That's out the womb.
And so that goes into something else that I want to discuss with you. But well, you talked about it live. I mean, not live, but you talked about it at the event. Your brother, and how how he has a. I don't know if we can put, because then they gonna be on him if they know your brother. Well, her brother got a good credit score, y'all.
My mom added my brother to her credit card because she didn't know that, she could add kids under 18 to her card. So she added him, and now he's 18. My brother got perfect credit. I probably shouldn't tell him that because I don't think he realizes he has perfect credit.
Right. But one of the things that you were saying in that meeting, you were like, and I keep trying to get him to buy a house, like get out of mom's house. But that brings into my question, why as black people are we so quick to leave
the nest?
Because
I wanted to be grown and cussed. And now I'm just paying bills.
Yes.
Right. But what I realized from other cultures, they stayed home.
Right. For as long, they will stay there forever.
If the women, if they don't get married, they home. The men,
they may get married and bring their wives and kids.
Yeah, we can't
to the house.
We don't live
but
that.
I can attest that I never had that mindset where I was like, oh, my son is 18, I'm kicking him out.
Yeah. Right, and so
I never thought like that. To be honest, I really don't want him to go nowhere because I feel like
I like my mom.
She's a cancer.
My mom's a Libra.
I wanna watch.
There's a lot going in my birth at Aries.
I feel like I gotta look, and I feel like I can't see you enough if you leave.
You sound like my mom, because my mom,
like
the only reason all my mom's kids don't live with her is because her husband, my stepdad, ain't having it.
Right.
She ain't having it.
Because she would have all of y'all right underneath her.
Right, because that's one of the things that she does say is because I can't see y'all. Like, if y'all live at home, she said one of the things I loved when you came home
is I could see you.
Right, I knew when you would be home. Once I heard that door open, I could go to sleep.
Oh my God.
I felt
all moms is like this.
Yes.
Because my mom said the same thing.
Yes. Right.
Like when I go sleep over there, like mostly holidays, like Thanksgiving, I sleep over the night before, night after, Christmas Eve. She's like, I sleep so good when you and your brother are here.
Right.
Right.
It's a comfort. Right. It's a comfort as a mother. It's a comfort.
She'll probably watch this.
And I'm serious. Like
my mom says the same thing.
Julian stays out, and I literally before I go to sleep, I'm like texting him like, "Hey,
my mom.
Hey, are you okay?"
And I'm
listen.
And then I get up in the morning, and the first thing I do is I text him in the morning, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I went through my period of where there was a little regret of not having children, and I went through that period of like, damn, like I really, and we've even talked about this because I remember one time I was on the phone with you and I was like, I feel like my grandma in spirit is sitting right here on the bathtub like, child, please, you do not.
Girl, because you worry for the rest of your life.
Right, and my mom told me that one time when I was feeling down, I was like, dang, Mom, I still haven't had children. Like, I've never been pregnant. It just happened for me. And I remember my mom told me, she said, it is a job that is never over, and you're constantly worried about them.
And it just changes to different worry. Like I literally in my head was like, oh, they're gonna be this age and this age, and then it's gonna be like easy. And no, like the older they get, the harder it gets. Because now y'all out here, I can't tell y'all what to do. I can't tell you. I can't get at it. I'm telling you, my son stays out.
One of our sippers said, but the parents don't have a home. A lot of times, it's not enough space. Yeah. That can happen.
Right.
That can happen.
My sons ain't never had go nowhere as long as I got enough space in my house.
You know what my mom always
make space.
Right.
That's
my mom always used to say this. I swear the only thing holding her back is that husband of hers. But we love him though. He's a good man.
I was about to say, now you said I'm the worst school.
No. My stepdad,
I was watching you struggle and just watching you.
My stepdad is a good man. Like my stepdad has really taken care of my mom. But like she's a mother. And I feel like every man is like that. Every man has to step in and be like, listen, woman.
Unless he with the same shit that you with.
Right.
Unless we on the same
now, if my mom,
we on the same shit.
Now listen, if my mom,
like we can build a mother-in-law suite
right,
and these niggas can live right
here. Now
here.
listen to me. If my mom and my biological dad was still together, we probably all was still together. Especially with me, because I'm my dad's only girl. Yeah. So that might happen. My dad probably would have to build
a mother-in-law suite. That's what I'm saying. Like
my stepdad is a Capricorn.
Get it moving.
All right, so let's get back on topic. But I felt like that was such a good thing.
Now I'm not trying to put my brother out my mom's house. I don't want that to be the narrative.
But you want him to buy some property. You don't want him to mess up that credit.
Right. I
want
him to buy something while his credit is good.
It can stay good.
It's gonna stay good.
Stay good. Come on, please speak that into existence. Speak. It's gonna stay good, brother. I can help you.
I heard you was looking into credit cards. Please don't. Before he start getting credit cards and establishing debt and screwing up his debt to income ratio.
That I wish that I would have known about credit cards. I only have one credit card right now. Good to me. I need to pay it off though. But one thing I wish I would have learned about credit cards early on was, because a lot of rich people, they buy everything with credit cards and then they just pay it off at the end of the month. And that is the level that I'm trying to get at right now with that one credit card that I have. Like, get caught up to the point where I'm just using that credit card, and I know people
sort of cashback,
and my cashback be crazy too. Like, cashback really be good, coming in handy. That's the level that I'm trying to get on. Like, I know people literally now that they never have cash on them. They're literally always just swiping that credit card, and then at the end of the month,
you just pay it off. That's a good way to build credit too.
Right. So I really thought that was a good topic. Like, black people, don't kick your kids out at 18.
Don't kick them out.
That's a generational curse.
My mom let me stay in her house.
But we'll talk about that at another time.
Oh, that is. You're right. It is generational curses. It is
because they be feeling like, oh well, because I got it out the mud. My kids ain't silver spoon. My kids.
Yes.
These niggas ain't never getting it out the mud. Sorry,
baby. Talk about it. I remember I felt really bad about some of the stuff that my dad does for me and was doing for me. And I remember I came to him and I said I felt bad about it because I was hanging around.
You got bad?
No, because I was young.
Yeah.
I was young. No, listen.
Because I feel bad about that.
I was younger, in my 20s, and I was hanging out with people who but they would talk shit about me, make me feel bad.
But my mom loved me.
And so I started looking at that as like, I'm not really putting in no effort. I'm getting stuff for free. And you know what my dad told me? My dad sat me down and he told me, he said, I never want my kids to have to struggle the way that I had to struggle.
What is the point?
Right. He said, I have friends, you think you got it good. He said, I have friends who literally, their kids, they don't pay. They got brand new Mercedes. They got brand new.
It don't work.
Yeah, and right. He said,
and ain't worried about paying no car, nothing. They're not worried. They're not even thinking about, oh, he got me a car. That means this nigga's paying for it.
Yeah.
I'm never paying for it. Like, that's the whole point.
I used to always
someone asked, did y'all already speak on that debit to income ratio?
We didn't.
So what is that?
So your debt to income ratio, that's the portion of your income that goes towards your debt.
God. Anxiety. Oh my shit. I'm just keep it real with y'all. I look good, but
deep down inside.
I don't want to look like I got it. I want to have it.
It looks like it's all put together on this.
But deep down inside, my debt to income ratio is 100.
Not 100.
It's 100.
It's $50. Go ahead.
So it's the difference between what your income is to how much your debt is. That's how lenders determine how much you can afford. So as long as 43% of your income is not going towards your debt, or more than 43%, you're good.
So what would debt be? Like
credit cards, car payments, student loans.
Are we even talking about student loans?
Joe,
student loans be the.
Student loans knock a lot of people out the box off rip sometimes, depending on how bad they are. But we only use up to 0.5% or 1%, depending on what type of mortgage product you get in of the balance. So if you owe $100,000 in student loans, we're only using $1,000 worth of your. We're going to take $1,000
of your income.
No,
of your debt.
Of
your debt
will be $1,000.
Okay, so no matter how much you in debt,
as long as it's in deferment and there's no payment, because I think, are we still in deferment?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you file for it.
They talking big words. I love it.
I keep my loan in deferment.
Listen,
y'all never get. I'm sorry.
I forget.
Y'all never.
I'm waiting on y'all to catch up.
Right. I forgave my sins and I forgave my loan.
Right.
Black women are the highest educated.
We are.
I don't qualify in that because I ain't going to. I went to school for like 2 seconds.
Same. Believe it or not, I went to college for like a year. And I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
So what? So how did you become a broker? Because she is a mortgage broker for anybody on Instagram that just tuned in.
It's by accident, like everything else.
I swear to God, that's
not by accident. That's the universe. That's divine timing. That is God.
But it'd be like
because you be thinking it's an accident, but God,
you found out some information. You be like, what?
Literally, so
I'm telling you, all your major blessings are never going to hit you with you knowing that it's on its way, that you being able to predict its outcome. You want to hear God laugh? Tell God your plans, because God has in order. He already knows. God has you designed so well that He knows your deepest desires. So those secret prayers that you have that you don't even say out loud, those prayers that you don't even talk to your mom about, you don't even talk to your dad about, God heard those prayers. So what you think was an accident, God said, well, I'm gonna show her. I tell my little sister that all the time.
That's why I'll be saying. You have to realize, like when you speak, you're really telling a spell. So you have to watch your words and be mindful of the things that you say, because like you're literally speaking those things into existence.
But go up. So tell us how you became a broker.
Because I honestly don't know. So I'm like,
I would tell you, because God knew.
I fell into it. All right, so we gotta go back. I went to college for like a year, and I was pre-nursing. Then I changed to pre-med because I was like, if I'm gonna be a nurse, I might as well be a full-blown doctor. Not even realizing I don't like skin-to-skin contact. I don't like I don't like bodily fluids.
Don't touch me.
Literally, don't touch me.
A whole motherfucking doctor.
Right. Don't touch me. Ew. Somebody bleeding. Oh my God, ew, I'm throwing up now.
What do Nicki Minaj say? I keep a wet wipe in case of
bum try to touch
literally,
me.
Ew.
I got wet wipes in my car.
I get so grossed out with everything. I was like, I was in them labs and doing the bio and dissecting brains, and I was like, you know what? Let me get up out of here. Let me leave. And I went to community college, and I was like, let me just knock out my prereqs while I try to figure out my life, figure out what I wanted to do. But I also needed a job. So I started working at the bank as a teller. And I'm not going to say what banks I worked for because I got fired from every one of them.
But you are a walking success, so somebody needs to hear this motherfucker. Somebody needs to hear this story, because
every bank I have worked for, I got fired from. And this is the ratchet part of the show. Just